Hi, welcome again to my YouTube channel. I'm super excited to be here. Sorry, I'm trying to find a way I can pack my natural hair and stuff, so it gives me a headache from time to time. Anyway, welcome again to my YouTube channel. Today, I'm going to be talking about Real Housewives of Potomac. Real Housewives of Potomac. Um, so I started watching the whole Real Housewife stuff as a result of Real Housewife of Atlanta. And I enjoyed that show, especially when Nene was still there. I'll be honest, I stopped watching the show when Nene left. I mean, I enjoy characters like Kenya. I really love Candy. She's such an inspiring, she's such an inspiration, to young girls. Like, it's not all about being a bimbo. It's about making money moves and things like that. So I really love Candy on the show. I love Nini. She's just fabulous. She's just amazing. She gives me jokes. She gives me, quick wit, rebates and things like that. Like she's just a whole show. Nini brings like the flavor, to the franchise and stuff like that. And I also really love like other casts. But yeah, those are like my top three: Nini, Candy, and Kenya. Those are like my top three casts on the show. And unfortunately, now that Candy has left, I'm really looking forward to see what they do with the show. And let's see what happens with the show. Now, I usually don't review Real Housewives anything because I just feel like, yeah, it is what it is. Like, I don't really take the franchise very seriously in that way. I don't take what happens on the show seriously. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. Like, it's not that serious. It's a show after all, right? However, I started watching Real Housewives of Potomac when Wendy Osefo joined. I was super excited to see my fellow Nigerian queen on the show. Like, she's an epitome of a Nigerian. She's educated, well educated, by the way. She's she has a doctorate degree. She's a professor. Like she was just an emblem of example to me. And I was so excited to see what she would bring to the show, who she would be, and stuff like that. I was super, super excited for that. And she brought it, right? There were some hiccups here and there, but she brought it, right? And then we also had Ineka join the show. And I was like, yes, the Nigerian queens doing it. I was so excited and I was like, okay, yeah, she's a lawyer. I expect that she'll be brilliant. She'll be articulate. She'll be fun. She will bring it just like amazing cast that I love. Candice, Mia, and even, what's her name now? I've forgotten that name, but I remember the grand dame of the show, right? She was also there and they were people that I love. I mean, my top favorite cast on the show of the Real Housewife of Potomac is Candice, Wendy, and Mia, as well as the Granda. I don't know why I keep forgetting the name. I can't remember her name, and that's so bad. But I will put each of them's pictures here so that you can see my favorites on the show. And I was really excited for Ineka until she jumped on the bandwagon of this whole OSU craziness. And so I realized that conveniently, no one on the show could all of a sudden had the bandwidth or the capacity to speak on OSU. No one is educated enough to speak on OSU. That's quite very interesting to me because when Ashley brought that to you, you should have shut that shit down immediately. Now, let me just educate you on what OSU is. Maybe not educate you, but like just tell you what it really means. Now, in case you're wondering who is this girl, who is she to have anything to say about this, let me introduce myself. My name is Oluwafe Jimmy Dosumu. I'm fondly called Jimmy by my friends. I am Nigerian. I'm from the Yoruba side of Nigeria. However, I have interacted in relationships with a lot of Igbo people. And so I have a level of understanding of OSU. And I will just break it down to you what it really means. I mean, if you've stayed in Nigeria and you've watched enough, you know, Nollywood movies, you would know, you have an idea of what OSU is. You have an idea of what it means, right? So let's get into it. OSU is a caste system, like they've repeated severally on the show. Yes, it is a caste system, and it's simply segregational. It is discriminatory. It is very condescending term. It's not a good term. It's not even a thing that has a place in a national show such as the Real Housewives or the platform of Bravo. It doesn't have a place there. Now let me just jot down some of the things that I've taken note of and I want to talk about. So if I look down, just know that I'm looking at my book. Okay. So first of all, it's a it's a term that stigmatizes a group of people or a group of persons, right? Um, it could also refer to the untouched, an outcast, the rejected, the banished. So, a long time ago in Igbo land, right? Igbo, as much as Nigeria is a country, there are several tribes, there are several languages, there are several people, there are several beliefs. Now, in the Igbo land, the core of Igbo land, right? Back in the day, they used to have strong cultures, and one of them was the Osu caste system, right? And in that system, now let me tell you something, this system is as old as, if not older, than the killing of twins in Nigeria. Okay, that was abolished by Mary Slessor. It's that old. Okay, it's really, really, really old. Like it's as old as that. Okay, and offering of human sacrifices in Igbo land. Not just Igbo land, like everywhere in Nigeria, is as old as that, if not older. Okay, now this particular caste system, it mainly describes a person, it mainly means in literal terms that a person is a slave. Okay? But this kind of slavery is not the same thing as Ohu or Oru, if I'm correct. Yeah. It's not the same thing as a regular slave. This kind of slaves have no chances of being free ever, ever, ever in their lives because they are not regular slaves. They are slaves that are dedicated to gods or deities or cults or things like that. So for the rest of their life, they are going to live in solitary or away from human beings. Um, yeah, they are going to be somewhat shunned, and nobody is to interact with them. That's why they are also referred to as the untouchable, as the banished. So they are doomed to living a secluded life forever till they die, literally. You know, like if you speak and interact with an Osu, you yourself could very well become one of them. Now, like I said, it could be one person, it could be a group of people. It depends. Now, back in the day in the Igbo land, they used to do something where a community that has a god would travel very far away from that community, either buy or kidnap a little girl or a little boy. Now, that little girl or little boy will be brought back to their village or their town and will become the Osu there, dedicated to the god or deity of that town. Now, that was one way. Another way was you're banished. Once you're banished, maybe you commit a crime and you're banished from a town or a village, you have officially become Osu, right? The term for someone that is banished, someone that you must not talk to, someone that is shunned within a society could also become Osu. Now, there are so many books on this. There's so many takes on this. There's so many professors that have worked on this. And it was very interesting to me that Bravo couldn't take the initiative of inviting one of these people to actually speak on it. It really doesn't take a lot of time. Within 20 minutes, the person is done. Just educate, just to make sure that Bravo is not insensitive to some people's cultures. And I feel like it's a very insulting thing to call Wendy or insinuate that Wendy is. First of all, it's just crazy. Wendy's name is Wendy Osefo. I don't hear any Osu in her name. And I don't think a family lineage has anything to do with that. And it's quite interesting to me that Ashley all of a sudden wants to form, she doesn't understand anything, she doesn't know. Oh, I never tried to claim that I know what OSU means. I saw it before and saw it prior to speaking to Neka. Like, that's very stupid and that's a very ridiculous excuse. Because to me, if you're referring to Wendy as Osu, you might as well call her a slave. You might as well, even worse than a slave, actually. You might as well call her a nigger. But Osu is even worse than that. And it's also very interesting to me that Nneka sat there as an Igbo woman herself and a Nigerian, where someone who doesn't understand your culture or know anything about this came to you with some bullshit and you couldn't. I mean, it's human decency. I can't imagine someone calling. I mean, the line is not drawn on culture or on country of origin. The line is drawn on what is right and what is wrong, what is decent and what isn't. That's where the line is drawn to me. It's not a matter of um, Wendy being Igbo or being Nigerian. It's a matter of Wendy being a human being. And if you know that calling someone or referring to someone as that is a taboo, why not shut it down and set Ashley straight? Like, no, you can't say that on national television. It's something we are not allowed to talk about. Because if you had said that, at least you'll have been vindicated. And if Ashley went ahead to still talk about it, you'll be able to say no. When she came to me with that bullshit, I told her, don't talk about that nonsense. And that would have been that. You'll have been vindicated all the way. But you said nothing. You said nothing. And it's very interesting to me that now you want to cry wolf and say, oh, well, yeah, now everybody's blaming me for what Ashley did. No, we don't expect anything from Ashley, but we expect from you as a Nigerian that knows better, that understands better. We expect from you because your husband was the one who said it during the reunion. It's a taboo. We don't talk about it. And that's exactly what you should have told Ashley. It's a taboo. We don't talk about it. I mean, if I go to India, I respect Indians, right? If I'm relating with an Indian, then if I don't understand certain things, I mean, I live by the principle of what I don't know about, I don't talk about it, right? I don't care whether I'm on a show. I don't care. Like, my self-respect matters more than any money you might give me, right? If I go to Korea, and I'm trying to relate with Koreans or I'm working with Koreans, it's cultural respect. I have to respect the culture of the people I'm working with. Even if we're in Nigeria and I'm working with a Korean, I still have to respect some things that might come off as offensive to them because it's a cultural difference thing. If we're trying to be inclusive and create an environment that is healthy for people to coexist in, the line is not drawn at whether I like you or not. That's not where it's drawn. It's drawn at what is right and what isn't, what is decent and what isn't. And I feel very disappointed in Neka. And the person that killed me the most was freaking Giselle. Oh, is that a bad thing? Girl, shut up. Just shut up. Just shut up and keep focusing on your Pastor Holy Heart. Just stop. Stop it. Because I was like, really? And I'm surprised that Wendy is still working with this group of people because I don't know. I mean, Candice made the best decision of saying deuces because, I mean, the baby in the bun is much more important than any check, in my opinion. But let's go on a little bit. Let me talk about some people that have written about this stuff. CK Mick has written on Osu and he described Osu as someone who has been bought and dedicated to serve his owner's cult. Cult in this sense is like a cult where you're worshiping a certain kind of god or a deity or something like that. Now, J.O. Nwachukwu says Osu are sacred beings doomed to live a secluded life. Now, regardless of the definition that we choose to go with or take or whatever, Osu, like I said, is not a good term. It's as good as calling someone a slave. Now, historically, a person whose lineage were probably Osu would have names like Osuamadi, Osuchukwu, Osuala, Osuigwe, Osuji, Osuangu, or it will have the person will have a deity like name. Amadioha is a deity in Igbo land. So you might hear something like Osu Amadi, Osu, the servant of Amadi. Do you get what I'm saying? Or Osu Igwe, you know, or Osu, whatever the name may be, you would have Osu in front of the name of that deity. Do you get what I'm saying? So we need to, I feel like it all comes down to consideration and decency, because I've heard, I didn't expect decency from Giselle, because she had said it before when Mia hit Wendy. I said, I don't like her, so I don't have to care, which is quite interesting to me. But decency is not a thing that you can buy or give to people. If you have it, you have it. If you don't have it, you don't have it. So it's fine. But I didn't expect anything from Giselle. I didn't expect anything from Robin. I didn't expect anything from Ashley. But I expected from Nneka, because she's Nigerian. I expected her to know better and to shut this down there and then. And it's very interesting to me that you couldn't come to the defense of someone that you claimed you knew, or you claimed to have been your friend in the past, because the interview you did with the Shade Room, you didn't clarify things like that. You're trying to backtrack now. You didn't clarify things the way you did in that interview, like you did throughout the show. So stop it. You didn't clarify anything the way you did. You didn't come in saying, oh, well, I've met her before. No, you came in as though you were friends with her. And it's quite interesting to me. How would you want to say or claim that you're friends with someone that is referred to as Osu? I mean, ugh, stop. Just stop. And Wendy took the high road. I feel like she let Ashley off very easy on that one, my opinion. And it's interesting that I'm happy that Nneka is no longer on the show, because please, in Nini's words, you're declassing the show. Stop. Go back to being a lawyer or whatever you do. You're declassing the show. Okay? So I'm happy that Wendy really took the high road and stayed composed, even though I could tell she was irritated. Such a queen. I could tell she was irritated. She had this very, very, you know, serious look on her face. But I'm happy that she took the high road. I'm also happy that she came to some kind of resolution, maybe not absolute, but some kind of resolution with Nneka, and said, oh, well, we can coexist in the same space. I'm happy that she just really led with grace. She was really gracious throughout the um, throughout the reunion, and I'm also very happy that Candice also maintained her composure throughout the reunion, because Candice was like, why didn't you speak to, Wendy off camera? Why didn't you ask her? Why did you bring it on camera? And that was a good question. Why did you do that, Ashley? Because like they called you, I think it's Karina that called her, or Karina, I can't remember her name, that called her Queen of Apology or Aftermath Apology or whatever it was. So yeah. So for you, Ashley, I don't know if you're still on the show or you're still going to leave the show as of the time that I'm recording this video. But one thing I would like to say is go back and continue massaging the feet of your golem. We don't care for you. Bye. Go back and keep doing that. Okay? And for Robin, well, I'm happy you're gone. We don't have time for anything you have to say, so you can go. And for every other person on the show, I mean, I just hope this show can become very conducive, and I hope that the production team can receive and deduce the message from Candice's exit because it means a lot. Candice's situation would have brought a lot of flavor to the show and a lot of dimension to the show, but unfortunately, she left, and it's because the environment is not conducive. And I feel like production should take something out of that. We can't keep having colorism on the show. We can't keep allowing people just speak down to other people just because they can get away with it. Like that's not right, you know. So that's my 2 cents on this show. Let me know what you think and what you feel, and yeah, let's communicate in the comment section below. Please like and share and subscribe to this channel. Thank you guys for joining, and bye.